Hi, everyone, and welcome. My name's Felicia Rubenstein, and I'm the founder of HAYVN. I hope you're as excited as I am for our very first HAYVN Hatchlet. After 6 very successful HAYVN Hatch events, where we have supported entrepreneurs over the past year and a half, we are thrilled now to be highlighting and supporting our very young entrepreneurs in Connecticut, young women ages 16 through 22 years old. We hope tonight will bring them valuable exposure, connections, and access to resources that will help them. After all, that's really part of my mission at starting HAYVN, the first female-centric co-working space here in Fairfield County, Connecticut. With that, I'm going to turn this over to Kendra Farn, who has her own video production company here in Fairfield County. And Kendra actually produced all of HAYVN's fantastic videos. As a former television anchor, she knows how to keep a program moving. So with that, Kendra, take it away.
Thank you, Felicia, and welcome everyone. I am actually here in Darien at HAYVN, this amazing space that if you haven't visited, you must put that on your to-do list. And while we all wish that you could be here in person, we are going to have one fun hatchlet night tonight. So strap in, get a cup of coffee, get a cup of tea, get a glass of wine, whatever floats your boat, because we're going to have some fun. There are about 100 people who signed up tonight, so probably some more will be trickling in as we get started. In the audience, you are going to be watching the pitches from 7 very different, very amazing young women with their own businesses and charities tonight. Now, Hatchlet, just so you know, is basically part of a concerted effort to build a local ecosystem to support young female entrepreneurs. HAYVN has partnered with like-minded organizations, you're looking at them on your screen tonight, in an effort to build a robust community to encourage passionate young entrepreneurs across Connecticut. Now, these organizations, we have to say, were instrumental in helping us recruit the amazing young women who will be presenting tonight. Livegirl, Kids Helping Kids, the Community Fund of Darien, Fairfield County's Community Foundation Fund for Women and Girls, and you will be hearing more on each of those organizations later on. I also want to point out that all of you in the audience, your generous donations raised over $500, and the money's still coming in, and that money that you donated is actually going to not only help these 4 organizations, but also to aid us with the cash prizes that will be going to the first and second place winners tonight. So thank you for your generous donations to our event tonight. Our sponsors, okay, tonight, hands down, would not be possible without the generous support of our presenting sponsor, and that's First County Bank. And I can tell you, having worked closely with First County over the years, producing some of their videos, the entire team over there, led by Bob Granata, is so incredibly community-minded. At the heart of their banking relationships, they have always said they believe is trust, and giving back to their community is in their DNA, as they say. In fact, just last week, First County Bank was honored by Moffley Media with the 2020 Light a Fire Small Business Impact Award. They also won the Women's Choice Awards for a financial firm 3 years in a row. No surprise there, given their support for our young entrepreneurs tonight. So again, a huge thank you to First County Bank, Bob Granata, and the whole team over there. We also want to give a shout out to our other supporting sponsors tonight, HAYVN, of course, where I sit, and Felicia founded this amazing female-centric co-working space, Realist Ventures, Venture Mom, and P. Guerin Productions. HAYVN has a present, we're happy to tell you, for everyone in our audience tonight, and that's a free day pass. All you have to do is email, as you can see on the screen, by day's end tomorrow to get your pass. And you should know, very important, that HAYVN is very COVID conscious. As I sit here, I can attest to that. It is a safe environment, but everyone has their own comfort zone. So come in and take advantage of it. You will be very glad that you did. Another reason all of our Hatch events are so fun is that they're really sort of a reunion of sorts, meaning we have so many of our past presenters who join the audience. You're looking at the screen now, and there are the alumni. So I want to give a shout out tonight of the past presenters who are in the house with us tonight. Emily Yale of Land Maverick, Michael Reeves of I hope I say this right, Quivive, and Susan White of Turk. Thank you guys for joining us. It's always fun when you come back and support the new presenters. We have an all-star panel of female judges tonight. You are looking at them on the screen. They are all in their own right, very passionate about supporting young entrepreneurs, which is why they're helping us out tonight. I am sad to say, however, Tracy Chadwell did get last minute sick, and we hope she is well tonight, but her co-worker, Marielle Alexander, will be filling in and pinch hitting, so we really appreciate you stepping in. I'm going to ask each of the judges to please introduce themselves. And Vida, let's start with you.
Hello, everyone. Vida Asiegbu, definitely happy to be here. I am an investor and portfolio lead at 13 Ventures, where we provide different capital funding sources, starting with venture debt for entrepreneurs that need non-dilutive capital in addition to venture equity. Now, as Kendra mentioned, I am incredibly passionate about supporting this event, most especially since I started my investing career on the other side as a daughter of entrepreneurs. So it was, as you can imagine, very important for me to understand just the building blocks that were necessary in order to build a business. And so to see such a talented group of young entrepreneurs here for this presentation, I'm incredibly excited, but more than anything, proud to be here to be judging for this event. So thank you all for participating.
Awesome. Vida, thank you. Jen, you're up.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. My name is Jen Murphy, and I'm the director of the Connecticut Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation at UConn. In my role, I've had the pleasure of helping to mentor and grow hundreds of entrepreneurs and ventures. I founded several new initiatives for student entrepreneurs, including Get Seeded, which is a program that allows students to pitch ideas for seed funding, similar to what we're here doing tonight. Recently, I've helped to relaunch an initiative called Excite Women in Entrepreneurship Network, which is designed to engage women entrepreneurs year-round in meaningful opportunities to connect, support, and inspire them. And I'm an entrepreneur myself. I started my business, Jennifer Elizabeth Design Studio, where I sell handmade inspirational carded jewelry to customers around the world. And I originally just started it as a side hustle on Etsy and a creative outlet for myself. But I've grown my business over the last couple of years to now be available in over 60 retail locations nationwide. And I'm incredibly passionate about supporting women entrepreneurs and spend my time mentoring and consulting them. And I'm just so excited to be here tonight and hearing these pitches from these amazing women entrepreneurs.
Awesome. Jen, thank you. Marielle.
Hi, everyone. I'm Marielle Alexander. I'm an associate at 1843 Capital, where I work under Tracy Chadwell, who's sad to not be here tonight. Thank you for having me in place of her, by the way. Just to give you some background on me, I'm originally from the San Francisco Bay Area. I have a BS in data science from UC Santa Barbara, and I worked in data analytics for an artificial intelligence company following graduation. So having worked in tech and studying math and stats, I'm not a stranger to limited females in that space. So it's fantastic to see all you girls presenting here tonight.
Awesome. All right. Thank you all. Thank all three of our judges. So how will the judging actually work? There will be a first, second, and third place winner tonight, each of whom will win a version of a HAYVN HATCH support package for their business or charity, and we'll be detailing those later on when they're presented. HAYVN HATCH received so many impressive applications to pitch, I cannot tell you, and it was not easy to narrow it down to just the 7 presenters tonight. So, okay, the time has come. Let's get to the pitches. Here's how it's going to work. Each female founder will have 3 minutes presenting time, and then you will also have 4 minutes for question and answer from the judges and the audience. You will be timed by Marie Roca, who during your presentation will be giving you just one 30-second warning towards the end of your presentation so that you know to try to wrap it up. Audience, here's what we're asking of you. We would like you to please put your questions in the Q&A during the presentation or right after that presenter has ended, because we will not be able to, once someone has finished their pitch, we're not going to be able to go back and answer any of your questions. So please, if you have any questions for the presenters, put it in while they're pitching or just as they're wrapping it up. Presenters, it is in your best interest to answer these questions as quickly as possible so that you can get through as many questions as possible. Okay, off to the pitches we go. Presenters, you will be going in alphabetical order by your company. So we will start with BeeWell. Take it away.
Hi everyone, my name is Raina Jain. I'm a freshman at the University of Connecticut and I founded the company BeeWell. So BeeWell is an immune support shot infused with honeybee byproducts with the mission of restoring trust and natural remedies. Next slide, please. So about 3 years ago, I opened my bathroom cabinet and I found lots of orange colored pills. And when I asked my parents, they said it was for things like immune support, teeth pain, migraines, things of that nature. And I never really questioned it until about a year ago when I got a beehive. Now bees have completely changed the way I've see the world. They've taught me more about myself and nature than I could have ever imagined. But the biggest thing they've taught me is sparked this question in my mind that said, you know, nature and humans have been evolving for millions and millions of years, and we perfected this recipe of all natural ingredients, but for some reason we still revert to unnatural substances like antibiotics to cure our emotional, physical, social pain than we should be using all natural ingredients like honeybee byproducts. So that's when I came up with the idea with BeeWell, which is an immune support shot infused with honeybee byproducts with the mission of restoring trust in natural remedies and raising awareness for the depleting bee population. Next slide, please. So one of our first vision and value propositions is to give back. I'm partnering with tree.org, which is a foundation that plants trees. So for every bottle sold of BeeWell, a tree is planted. Once again, restoring trust in natural remedies and raising awareness for the depleting bee population. A percentage is also donated to honeybee research. Next slide, please. So my biggest competitor is Beekeepers Naturals. This is a product that has over 400,000 reoccurring customers every month. They have a similar shot called Elixir, which is a royal jelly infused product, but they have no giving back kind of to the beekeeping society perspective. So that's the biggest differentiator between BeeWell and Beekeepers Naturals. Secondly, there's Proper Wild. This is also an immune support shot, but they use caffeine. Caffeine is a nootropic, but it's categorized more in the sports sector than it is in the all-natural immune support sector. And lastly, there's Airborne. Airborne does about $450 million in sales each year, but less than 7% of that comes from the Airborne shot they have itself. Their main ingredient is vitamin C, but they don't have anything to do with honeybee byproducts as well. Next slide, please.
30 seconds.
So my go-to-market plan, I've created a very bare MVP shown here, once again called BeeWell, an immune support shot. I went to Whole Foods a couple of times. I pitched it to lots of representatives there. They all tried it. And after going back to the drawing board, we perfecting the recipe and again, in about 2 months, if everything goes well, this product will be on the shelf of my local Whole Foods store. After gathering consumer feedback and validation from Whole Foods, from real-time customers themselves, I plan to go direct to consumer to get better margins on the product. Next slide.
That would be all. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Well done, Raina. Thank you. Okay, Marie, Q&A time. Take it away.
Right now, we don't have any questions from the audience, so I'll go straight to Vida.
Great, thank you. So when it comes to the overall problem that you're solving, what would you say would be in, a one line, what you're looking to do with the shot?
I think the biggest thing is restoring trust in these all natural properties and ingredients that like beekeeping, honeybee byproducts. So just to give you an example, all bees are born the same, and there's this one jelly almost that's fed to one bee that eventually becomes a queen. That queen bee is 4 to 5 times larger, has the ability to lay 2,000 eggs a day, and has lots of more properties than any of the bees simply because it's fed this one substance. And so my journey with beekeeping originally started off as a science project, but through that I learned that there was so much that bees had to offer that not many people were aware about. So that's why I wanted to implement these honeybee byproducts into consumable products that humans can drink and eat themselves for immune support, and revert that idea from things like, antibiotics and unnatural substances and supplements to all natural kind of ingredients from bees or nature themselves.
Great, thank you. I'll go to the audience for the next question. Laura asked, what is in your honey shot, the ingredients?
Sure. So the biggest main ingredient is royal jelly, which is what I just explained. It's that kind of nutritious packed substance that's fed to one bee that eventually becomes a queen. Then there's propolis, that's like honeybee wax. And then there's raw honey and all of this is sourced directly from honeybee hives and that are sourced sustainably. And then finally, there's turmeric and Ginkgo biloba, which is a natural nootropic. So just to give you some examples, so 5 Hour Energy is an energy shot drink that had in 2012 98% of the energy shot market. In 2020 they have less than 88%, and although that's still a big amount, it's obviously decreasing because there's a shift from caffeinated beverages as a nootropic to more all natural and healthy alternatives. So that's where the idea, like another stem from a beekeeping byproduct beverage came.
Oh, we have so many great questions. I will go to another audience question because I think they're so great. How do you balance school and your business?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think I put a priority. I think it's interesting because it teaches you so many skills with time management. But I've always felt like entrepreneurship is kind of like the school of life, that it teaches you so much outside of an actual classroom. And so I've always put entrepreneurship first more than school. My parents wouldn't agree with that, but I found that it really is a school of life. It teaches you so many lessons that you wouldn't learn otherwise. And so I do, while doing this, I think remote learning has also helped, being able to do autonomous classes with the flexibility at my own home and my own laptop. But I definitely do give a preference to entrepreneurship over classes for sure.
Thank you. Jennifer, would you like to ask the next question? We do have quite a bit on the audience, so please feel free to reply to those, Raina. Go ahead, Jennifer.
Yeah, great job, Raina. Can you tell us how big this market opportunity is?
Sure. So to give you an example, this is an unrelated market, but for the honeybee pollinates about $500 billion in agriculture each year. So 1 out of every 3 bites of food we eat come from honeybees. The energy shot market itself is about $30 billion, in which currently 5 Hour Energy has about 88% of. But that is slowly decreasing, and all natural substances like Beekeepers Naturals is getting more of the market share as time goes on.
Thank you. That's all the time we have for questions. Thank you for your presentation. And again, I ask you to please reply to the questions in the from the Q&A while we go to our next presentation.
Awesome. Well done, BeeWell. Thank you, Marie. Okay, up next, college thrifts. Take the stage.
Perfect. Can you hear me well?
Yeah.
Perfect. Hello, everyone. My name is Patricia Garcia, and today I'll be presenting college thrifts. Next slide, please. Throughout my time at the undergraduate level, I've had the opportunity of experiencing distinct college campuses and cultures. From walking the halls at MIT and UC Berkeley as an undergraduate engineering researcher, I've realized that there's one thing that these institutions of higher education all have in common. Next slide, please. You walk into any bookstore, no matter where in the nation, and you'll be sure to spot the $60 crew neck besides the $45 t-shirt and the $50 sweatpants. However, it's the unfortunate reality that students across the nation cannot afford this. With the rising cost of tuition, room and board, and other college-related expenses, it's clear that universities are excluding these low-income students who cannot afford to purchase this merchandise while catering to those who can. Students have expressed a need for a platform that allows them to buy and sell collegiate merchandise at a fraction of the high bookstore prices. Next slide, please. And that's why I founded College Thrifts. Think Tinder for collegiate merchandise. College Thrifts is a peer-to-peer marketplace for students and alumni to buy and sell their gently used college gear. We are a peer-to-peer marketplace in which our main revenue comes from the 20% total commission that we take, where 15% would go towards operations and 5% towards institutional scholarships. We're also supporting 4 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals focused on climate action, responsible consumption and production, and sustainable cities. Some of our unique features include shopping for scholarships, filtering by college or university, and weekly school discounts. Next slide, please. And you may be asking how we're different from some of our competitors like Poshmark or Mercari. We're more than a resale application. Our goal is to create lasting connections across institutions in the United States and hopefully globally through sustainable consumption. So for example, if an alumni at Tulane University is selling some gear, they can sell it to some current students or incoming students. And not only are they providing this gear to these students who probably would not be able to afford this, but they're also possibly sourcing some potential interns for their companies. Next slide, please. And you may be asking, how do we know that this works? So in May of 2019, I launched an Instagram prototype selling my personal college gear from the school I was no longer attending. It was the University of Miami. And since then, since the start of the pandemic, I decided to open it to having others sell on the Instagram prototype other than just my gear. And to date, we've had over 250 schools represented on the Instagram prototype and over 4,000 followers from across the nation, including historically Black colleges and universities and Hispanic serving institutions, such as the one that I go to. And with that, I think that's it. Next slide. Is that it? And that's it. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Stephanie. You didn't even need my my timer, which I totally forgot about.
Okay, Q&A. Marie.
Thank you for your presentation. Marielle, would you like to go first?
There she is.
I don't know if she's having connection issues. So let's go to the audience question. Is there a trademark? Are there any trademark issues with reselling logo gear?
Great question. So the resale aspect currently, there is no trademark aspect of it. So we're not essentially slapping a logo onto a shirt. Like if you go on Poshmark or Mercari or some of these other applications, the used gear is already being sold. So as per that aspect of it, there's currently no trademark infringement that I'm aware of.
Thank you. Marielle, are you having sound issues? Would you like to ask the next question?
Sorry, I cut out with my internet. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, great. That's so great that your app has already launched. Patricia, have you launched around 50?
I'm sorry, Marielle, we missed most of that because of connection.
Can you hear me okay now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Just asking, Patricia, how many states have you launched in?
Great question. So the app is still in development phase. So we're still processing most of the orders on the Instagram prototype, but there is users buying and selling across the nation. So people are buying items across the nation and they're being sold across the nation. I personally don't. Oh, I don't know if you were saying anything. Connection is a little spotty.
Okay, I don't know what's going on with sound, but hopefully we'll go to Vida for the next question and hope that will be better.
Sure. Absolutely. And actually, it is a piggyback off of Marielle's question. So thank you for that, Marielle. Just in terms of, the reach that you have had so far. And just given the fact that you have a little bit of traction now, what you anticipate that the market size is going to be with the acceptance, like what your projection is?
Right. So right now, when it comes to like resale and like resale apparel, resale item, it's projected to grow to over 50 billion by 2023. So there is a large, I would say, following when it comes to this thrifting aspect, resale aspect, especially amongst Gen Z, which is where a lot of our college students at. So I believe that within this college market, resale market, it's something that's continuously booming and people are continuously interested. So I'm excited to see in the next couple of years how much college thrifts has the potential to grow given this growing popularity in these different areas of sustainability and the support of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll go to the audience with a question. What are the steps you have in place for quality control?
Great question. So usually I'm the only one right now on the team. So I monitor all the items that come in through the Instagram. So I make sure that they provide multiple photos when an item is sent in. And thankfully, since launching this feature of buying and selling other people's gear of March of 2020, there has not been any quality issues. And we're now close to the start of 2021. So far that aspect of managing the items myself and doing it on Instagram has worked, but once we launch into the app, it'll be a system in which we have a couple of people checking the items the same way we do on the Instagram to check for quality.
And the last question, again, I'll go to the audience. How will you fund the app development and follow up with margins? And what follow up with margins are you factoring into your projections? You have 30 seconds.
Oh, okay, so in terms of funding, right now it's pretty much through pitch competitions. So I have been pitching at a couple of pitch competitions, and with the fact that I've had a little more time on my hands because school has gone remote, I've been able to leverage that. So pretty much leveraging also some of the stipends from my summer research, pitch competitions to fund what is more than likely an expensive app development process.
Okay, thank you for all your questions. If you would like, there are plenty of questions in the Q&A. I encourage you to reply to as many of them as you can. And on to our next presenter.
Yeah, and on that note, thank you, by the way, great pitch, College Thrifts. On that note, at the end, I'll be telling the audience how you can reconnect through LinkedIn with all of our presenters, because there are, as Marie said, going to be so many questions that we can't get to, and all the feedback is so critical for all of these young women to hear from you. So the questions will not go unanswered is the point. Okay, number 3, up next, help end period poverty. There you are. Take the stage.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Caroline Guza.
We are sisters from Stamford, Connecticut, and together we founded the Help End Period Poverty Project. Next slide, please.
What sparked our idea and passion for this project was one YouTube video called How Homeless Women Cope with Their Periods. After watching it, we realized that we've never heard of the issue, period poverty, nor did our all-girls community service-oriented school. So we took it upon ourselves to do something about it. Next slide, please.
Wait, sorry, can you go back to the other slide? Sorry about that. Our mission is we want to provide sanitary feminine products for homeless women to promote proper hygiene, spread awareness, and to improve the lives of those in need. No woman should let her socioeconomic status interfere with her feminine hygiene. Next slide, please.
The product we donate to women in need is a colorful baggie with a cycle's worth of menstrual products. That includes either pads or tampons or a combination of both. By doing this, we offer those who don't really get much of a say in what type of necessities they have a choice. We focus on donating to nonprofits such as Person to Person, Inspirica, Providence House, and others in Fairfield County. Next slide, please.
The advantage we have is that there's not many people doing this type of community service work. That could be due to the stigma around menstruation, or also the lack of knowledge of that low income or homeless women need more than just food or shampoo. Our growth strategy is to take this project from high school to college. And since I'm a student at the University of Richmond, I want to help even more women in a different city. Next semester, I will be interning at a healthcare clinic called Health Brigade, and I plan on doing product drives there. After college, we hope to turn this into a nonprofit organization. Next slide, please.
Our main source of funding is from product or money donations. As you can see here, we raised around $2,000 worth of products, made around 440 bags, which is around 400 women we were able to serve. Next slide, please.
At the moment, the team is just us, but we like to consider everyone who has helped us package the bags a part of our project. Before we begin, we educate our peers on period poverty and have fun while putting the bags together. Seeing the smiles everyone has makes us smile, and them knowing that they'll be giving someone the products they need for a month makes us all happy. We are two sisters who want to make a change in this world and continue to grow the bond between women helping women. Thank you.
Thank you. Perfectly timed. You guys are doing fantastic tonight. Our first question will go to Marielle. Hopefully her Wi-Fi is more stable, and if not, we can go to someone else.
Hi, can you hear me okay now?
Yes, you sound great.
Oh, good. I'm so sorry. I had to move. What an awesome idea you guys have. By the way, have you reached out to any producers of these feminine care products and kind of figured out how you could put this into place at a bigger scale yet? I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, we definitely were thinking about it because the products that we use are the ones that we use ourselves because we feel that women should get not the cheap and like those kind of products that usually get donated. So we want to use what we use for them, and we use right now Always. And we were thinking about reaching out to them. I do follow them on our Instagram, and hopefully one day we will get into more contact with them. But yeah,
absolutely, that's great.
Thank you. We'll go to the audience with a question. Period poverty sisters, any plans to generate funds from the merchandise or events beyond straight up donations?
At the moment, we are just nonprofit. We also just funded it ourselves, kind of with like building the website. But we just take donations and we use that money to strictly buy the bags and also buy the products and then just donate it. We, at the moment, aren't looking for any profits, I would say. If that answers the question. Sorry.
Thank you. Jennifer, would you like to ask a question?
Sure. Great presentation, Stephanie and Carolyn. Awesome. So I see these types of organizations and opportunities coming up frequently, specifically in this space. And I was just curious to know if you had looked into other organizations that are trying to combat a very similar issue that you are, and if maybe you're targeting a very specific group of women, a specific location, or that sort of thing that maybe differentiates what you're offering.
At the moment, we're doing very local Fairfield County, but there is, I would say, the similar organization that Greenwich High School, these two girls were also doing something similar, and we wanted to reach out, but just the timing wasn't right, and we ended up not getting together. But we do communicate with these local organizations such as Person to Person and Inspirica still.
Great, thank you. The next question is, Scotland recently announced that sanitary products are free to everyone. Have you considered lobbying local governments to replicate at a local level?
So I was put into contact with our local state representative, and we did communicate, but it kind of fell through. But I am aware that another girl at Greenwich High School, I believe, made petitions to make all feminine products free in the state of Connecticut. So with that, they're kind of focusing on that. So what we're doing is we're focusing more hands-on getting the products directly to women, even though that we understand that this is an issue as well, but we kind of just focus it on different areas.
Yeah, we definitely switched our perspective to more local and focusing more on like hands-on, what Stephanie said, donations. Oh, I think you're on mute.
Yeah.
So sorry. We have 30 seconds to squeeze. How do you fundraise? Do you host events or do people donate individually?
So at our high school, we hosted events and we just asked the girls to bring in $5 donations, $3 donations, and we ranked in a lot of money. And with that, we asked the girls to help us package the products, and we would just go to our local Costco and buy the products. And in addition to that, I was on my volleyball team, and we had like a team get together. We raised donations at one of our games against our rival high school. And with that, we spread awareness, and we got the team together to package and then donate as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done. Help end period poverty. And I love that you're two sisters who actually get along well enough to do this together. That's amazing. Thank you guys. Okay, up next, KnitGirl. There you are.
Hi, good evening. My name is Olivia, founder and CEO of KnitGirl. I have a passion for knitting. I've been knitting since I was 7 years old. I'm currently a sophomore at West Hill High School in Stamford, Connecticut, and I'm very excited and honored to be here today. KnitGirl is a modern online knitwear brand. I started the company during the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic. I put my knitting skills to work to fulfill an urgent need in the community, making over 300 handmade face masks. Next slide, please. Have you ever had a shopping experience where the color, style, or quality of what you were looking for was just not available, or the only knit good you had access to was made by your grandma? What if there's a place where you could buy quality, modern knit goods all year round that are customized to fit your preferences? This is where KnitGirl comes in. With a knit goods market of $25.3 billion, we see significant opportunity for growth. Next slide, please. All of our products are customizable. Through extensive research, I've come up with our sleek and modern designs for our product offering that continues to evolve. Every product is handmade to the highest quality standards, and every product is made to order and ships within 3 to 5 days. Next slide, please. I know what you're probably thinking. How does one knit girl make all of this happen? Okay, folks, here's how it works. KnitGirl designs and hand makes all of the products, which we are currently selling through our outsourced storefront on Etsy. We market to our customers through social media campaigns, SEO, and Etsy sponsored search. Now you're asking, how do we scale this business? Right now, I interact with numerous knitters and knitting groups. There's an opportunity to utilize this resource. We will provide knitters with hassle-free income doing what they love, and they will supplement our handmade production capacity. The knit economy meets the gig economy. Next slide, please. Let's break this down from a financial standpoint. These are our two best-selling products. As you can see, the operating margin is very healthy. To date, our revenue is well over $1,100, and we feel we're at an inflection point in our business. Since we've expanded our product line, our average order size is up 65%. Also, we donate a portion of our proceeds to our products to charity. So next slide, please.
30 seconds.
We have big plans here at KnitGirl to take this business to the next level. One of the areas we plan to focus on in 2021 is our marketing strategy to drive traffic and maximize conversion. In addition, we intend to develop a KnitGirl portal, a solution to manage our network of knitters using intuitive technology. Thank you so much for listening. I will now accept any questions.
Wow, thank you. I'm blown away by all of you presenters tonight. To be honest, I think I can speak for other like Jennifer and Marielle and Vida. I've never seen this among such wonderful young women. So thank you. First question will go to Vida.
Yes, since you didn't have all the time in the world to talk to us about the portal, could you tell us just a tiny bit more detail on how the portal will work?
Yeah, of course. So through our research, we know that there are lots of people looking for freelance knit work. So there are large communities like Ravelry, numerous Facebook groups, and other forums, and also job sites like Freelancer and FlexJobs, full of knitters looking for work. So the KnitGirl portal is a technology to help us easily manage and organize a potential network of freelance knitters that would help supplement our production. So the portal, for example, would help manage payments and communicate with the knitters.
Thank you. Jennifer, do you have a question?
Yeah, I mean, Olivia, this is awesome. And I think, when you started talking about the portal, I think that's where I got most excited, is this opportunity to create networks of people that are interested in hand making items and being able to sell them to businesses that are trying to scale. I know I have a similar issue to what you're talking about, scaling handmade items, right? You can't go to a factory at a certain capacity, right? Like the handmade and local is super important. So I'd love to learn more about, I guess this isn't really a question, about this portal and thinking more about ways to make that connection and make that unique for you. So great job tonight.
Thank you.
We have a question from the audience. Do you anticipate seasonal demand? And if so, how will you manage the time expectations?
We do. Recently, we have been getting a lot of orders. We had we know that it's because of the winter time, and we are anticipating a lot because of this seasonal change. So we do anticipate, and in that case, we start making more.
Thank you. Jennifer. Marielle, do you have a question for Olivia? If not, we'll go to the audience.
Sure. Well, first of all, I think it's awesome that you're thinking of ways to create jobs and work for people. I'm just curious, what demographic are these knitters from? Are they women typically? What age group? I don't know many knitters personally, so I'm so curious.
So, we have connected with several knitters, and their age range is I can't cap it anywhere. I've actually been to many knitting conventions, and it's so diverse, and I actually really love the community.
That's awesome. I can't believe it's $25.3 billion. I wrote that down.
I know. It's
knitting. That's great.
We have room for one more question. So impressive. Your metrics and financials are really strong. How do you balance your business and high school academics?
Well, you know what? I'm a very organized, and I manage my time very well. It's one of my skill sets developed from constantly knitting since I was very young, and managing school and sports. So it's actually not an issue.
Very impressive. Thank you, Olivia.
Thank you.
Great presentation, Olivia. Really nice. Thank you, Knit Girl. Okay, up next we have Reach Bar. Reach Bar, the stage is yours.
Good evening. I am Eva Quigley, a junior studying nutritional sciences at UConn and the founder and CEO of Reach Bar, the only bar you'll ever want to reach for. Next slide, please. A problem I identified is that in the United States, less than 9% of Americans are meeting the daily vegetable intake of 2 to 3 cups, and this percentage is even lower in low-income areas, especially among children, due to the cheap nature of sugary products. Of the 10 leading causes of death in the United States, 7 are from chronic diseases such as type 2 diabetes and heart disease, but these diseases can be easily prevented by eating diet rich in fruits and vegetables daily. Next slide, please. In response, I launched Reach Bar. Our mission is to provide a vegetable-based nutrition bar to supplement the dietary needs of young adults. Our core values involve nutrition and well-being, transparency, and charity. For every bar sold, a bar will be donated to a child from a food insecure household. Reach Bar is a vegetable-based nutrition bar that has a full serving of vegetables and is certified plant-based, vegan, and non-GMO. The bar is not meant to serve as a meal replacement, but instead meant to supplement the nutrients that Americans are lacking in their daily diets. Next slide, please. This is the approved nutrition facts panel for Reach Bar. As you can see, each bar has only 12 ingredients, including peanut butter, dates, pea protein, and freeze-dried greens, as well as 11 grams of protein, and it meets 25% of the daily value for fiber. Next slide, please. Our target audience is young adults. According to surveys conducted by Mintel, young millennials are more likely to snack throughout the day, and statistics reveal that 58% of Americans in 2019 tried to eat more vegetables as a snack, and that the consumer interest in vegan snacks is highest among 18 to 30-year-olds. A Forbes article released in 2017 revealed that millennials are loyal to transparent brands and clean label initiatives such as GMO-free and no artificial flavors, as well as charitable components attached to the product that they are purchasing. The charitable component attached to Reach Bar is that for every bar that is bought, one will be given to a child receiving free lunch in the U.S. school lunch program. The school lunch program benefits 29.4 million children daily, and 3/4 of the lunches in this program are free or reduced price. According to the USDA, children from food insecure households are more likely to receive their food and nutrient intake from these meals. So by providing them with our bar, they will have a guaranteed source of vegetables, protein, fiber, and other nutrients. Next slide, please. The U.S. nutrition bar market currently lies at around $9.6 billion, with protein bars capturing most of that market, and are expected to see a large increase over the next decade with total sales of $7.03 billion in 2027. Of the top trends in the U.S. bar market, such as high protein, high fiber, plant protein, Reach Bar can be fit into all three. Of the leading nutritional and health bars in the US market currently, none of them produce vegetable-based bars, and those that do, such as Larabar, are severely lacking in important nutrients such as protein and fiber. This is why Reach Bar will be the only bar you'll ever want to reach for. Thank you for listening.
Wow, thank you again. Right on time. Jennifer, would you like to ask the first question? Sorry about that. That was my alarm. Would you like to ask yes, our Star Wars fan all the way through. Jennifer, would you like to ask the first question, please?
Yes, absolutely. Great presentation. So how do you plan to get these bars to your customers?
So currently the model that we plan on pursuing is direct to consumer. Before I do that, I will be testing in person, obviously safely with the COVID restrictions and whatnot. So I'll be selling them in person at local grocery stores that I've already set up. I plan on the purchase order, I plan on making within the next month or so, and they should be arriving around February. So when that happens, I'll be selling in person and getting feedback. And then I plan on doing direct to consumer through Amazon and through our own website.
Great, thank you. Marielle, you seem like you have a question.
Sure, yeah. So how did you come up with the name Reach Bar? Is there any story?
So Reach Bar, the name was kind of inspired by a charity that my family runs, and it doesn't really have anything to do with nutrition or vegetables or anything like that. But I was inspired by the name because I feel like it can be applied to many things, like reaching for better health, kind of like that's the whole goal, is to encourage people to eat more vegetables. And so our goal is to have everybody reach for better health. And so that's why I decided to stick with the name.
Definitely.
Do you have any sales to date?
No, we haven't sold yet, just because we just finished our prototype phase a couple of weeks ago. So here's the prototype bar here. This isn't like our official packaging or anything, but that is currently in development, and I should be getting our first shipment of bars around February or March, and then that's when we'll start selling.
Great. And another question from the audience, why direct to consumer versus building a brand through traditional channels?
I plan on doing direct to consumer first, just because of the circumstances that we're under right now. It is the easiest way to do it for me personally. But I also have hired a food broker who will help get my product into stores like Whole Foods and GNC. So that is something I do plan on doing. But initially, I plan on selling at Amazon first, just because it's the quickest way to get sales, like immediately.
Thank you. Jennifer, do you have a question?
I mean, I asked mine already. I don't know if there's any other questions from other judges.
I do have a
Vida
question.
looks like he has one, yeah.
Actually, so I'd love to understand just kind of like the path to your final taste product, like the taste of your product. You know, what is the response? What is feedback on that?
Yeah, so we've done a couple of rounds of prototypes. The first round, I taste tested to a number of different individuals, and the feedback honestly wasn't great the first round. And so that's why I decided to do a second round, and I got no negative feedback. And this was coming from children, adults, young adults, college students, people from all sorts of groups. And obviously the goal with donating a bar to a child, to children, I wanted to make sure that children would like it, because children tend to be picky. So even though the bar does have vegetables, one of the most important things was making sure the bar tastes good. So that's what we did during our prototype round. And thankfully, we're now at a point where we're very confident that the bar tastes great. But I also will be doing more taste testing after we receive our first shipment of bars.
Thank you. And I'm happy to volunteer for that as well, if you need help.
Great.
Next presenters, please.
Awesome presentation. Did I tell the audience that we had 7 amazing, also very different presentations for you tonight? They have been, I can't believe that you guys are all in that 16 to 22-year-old window. You're really all so impressive. So thank you. Great presentation, Reach Bar. Up next, Sanicase. And there you are.
Perfect. Hi, my name is Kaia Close, and I'm a senior at Greenwich Academy. My product is Sanicase, a phone case that uses UV light in order to sanitize your phone case. I hope that my phone case will provide individuals with the protection they deserve from bacteria and viruses, and I hope you will join me in reaching for the clean with Sanicase. Next slide, please. There are over 62 million common occurrences of the cold each year, and as shown on the screen, each square inch of an iPhone contains 25,127 bacteria. We think of toilet seats as so disgusting, but iPhones contain 10 times more bacteria than a toilet seat. So Sanicase would help to solve this problem, especially right now during the spread of the coronavirus pandemic. Next slide, please. So I do have competition for my product. First are general hand sanitizers such as BeeWell. BeeWell is much cheaper and it effectively works the same. It promises to kill a certain amount of bacteria. However, even though BeeWell and other products are cheaper, they're not always easily accessible, and it is not advised to put hand sanitizer on your phone, for example, in fear of damaging it. The next product that is competition to mine is phone soap, and phone soap uses UV light as well. It's a container where you put your phone in for a certain period of time. However, phone soap is much more expensive. All of the products are greater than $100 each, and it can be very difficult to leave your phone for a 30-minute period to put it in a container because who knows, you might not be home or you might need it. Next slide, please. So I'm going to sell my product at $99.95 in order to make it a fair price. I want to sell my product business to business through Apple, and this is because Apple is a very trustworthy company. With a partnership through Apple, I hope I can make customizations to the phone case. And in addition, I hope I can have Apple technicians help me to create an effective charger in order to activate the UV light. My total addressable market is about $300 million, considering that about 34 million individuals buy phone cases every year. Next slide, please. I'm the right person for this as the only founder of this company. Even though we are only in the idea and starting the prototyping phase, I'm very experienced in biology, chemistry, and technology. I'm pursuing my own independent study currently on genetic technology. And this summer, I took a Stanford entrepreneurship course where I won the competition for best product. This impelled me to continue working on my product and create a partnership with Amy Wilkinson, a professor at Stanford's Graduate School of Business. Next slide, please. In summary, my product is new, savvy, and technologically advanced. I will be selling business to business through Apple to make sure my product is trustworthy, but also at a fair price point. The phone case will be constantly sanitizing, so you can always be ensured your phone case is clean. Thank you for listening.
Wow, thank you, Kaia. That was also amazing, an amazing presentation. I'm really impressed. So this has been like a fantastic night for me. So thank you all. Jennifer, do you have a question for Kaia?
Yeah, Kaia, great job. Can you just tell us a little bit about how this works? So is this a case that goes on the outside of your phone and it's on there constantly? Just give us a little bit more information.
Yeah, so basically it's actually very chemistry based, which is really interesting. So the phone case is covered or would be covered in a coating made from titanium dioxide. And then when this powder is mixed with UV light, it activates the chemical reaction in order to allow the UV light to kill the bacteria. And on the outside of the phone, there's a glass protection to protect you from the UV light. And also there is a small little protection as well from the phone to the phone case to protect that from UV light. But how it really works is that you need this chemical the titanium dioxide to mix with the UV light within the phone case in order to activate it. And to activate that, we were planning on creating a charger that would be able to send the energy waves through to create this chemical reaction.
Okay, sorry, I just have a follow-up question on that. So if you have your phone case and it's killing the bacteria on the phone on the inside of the case, what is to stop the bacteria on the outside of the Sanicase?
So it actually kills the bacteria on the outside of the phone case. It's
Okay.
the whole point of it being on the inside is that when it touches the surface of it, it kills all the bacteria on the inside and the outside of the surface. It's very similar to there's door handles currently that are UV light focused. So when you touch them, they kill the bacteria on your hands. It works with a very similar technology to that the UV light on the inside covered by a glass protection will sanitize your hands and kill the bacteria on your hands as well.
Great, thank you.
Next question from the audience. What is your path to securing B2B business-to-business sales through Apple?
So at first I was going to just sell directly to consumers, and I'm still obviously trying to create it since this is a very techy product and somewhat hard to maneuver just because it's new. But I think I wanted to work through Apple because I felt that they're very powerful. And I think that working just with Apple technicians will help me to develop the product most efficiently and just in the best way to make sure it's not harmful and very safe for consumers. So I think that Apple just really seemed to be the best for me. They would be able to sell it on their website while they would make part commission. I feel like they would help my sales increase a lot more because when people see Apple, it's so much more inviting than seeing a new product brand that they aren't sure of. And everyone goes into Apple, so your product is displayed.
Judges, anyone want to go next?
I do have a question. So with your point about introducing the product through Apple, do you have a vision to make this an Android product later on, or is it not part of your vision there?
So I think first I was going to start just with Apple. I want to see how it works with the company, if sales are up. And if it does seem to work very well, I might start also going to other websites such as Samsung and sell also to other carriers such as like Verizon or AT&T. And I think those would be my next steps after first trying it out with Apple. But yes, I have been thinking about that. And I really do think that it would be nice to go to other markets as well.
Anyone else? We have 30 seconds.
I have a question too. So I know you said for competitors, you said, you know, there's hand sanitizer brands, and there's the separate light away from the phone. Why do you think a case doesn't exist already to solve this problem?
So I've done a lot of research on this, and there actually is no case. And it's because the phone soap was really only invented about a year ago. So it's a really new technology. And also, especially using UV light, it has barely been around. So honestly, people haven't even had the time to be able to create a prototype. And I've looked everywhere on the internet when I was thinking about my idea and what I wanted to do. And it seemed like everyone was kind of starting to use UV light in ways that could help us and protect us, but it wasn't quite there to use it in our daily life. For example, they're just starting with door handles, and they're just starting with the idea of, oh, this is how we can help the coronavirus pandemic. We can start using bacteria killing UV light in order to protect our surfaces. But nothing has really been connected yet through Apple and a phone case and killing bacteria through UV light. And so I think that's where my idea came through, that I just saw two separate big paths and I wanted to connect them before anyone else did.
I'm sorry, Kaia, we have to move on, but please feel free to reach out to Kaia and ask more questions in the Q&A. We'll do our best to, after the follow-up, Kathy will be sending out, or HAYVN will be sending out an email with all their LinkedIn so you can stay in touch with them. We're happy to help you navigate and stay in touch with the girls, whether you want to mentor, advise, invest, either way, we're happy to support that. Thank you.
Awesome presentation, Sanicase.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Well done. All 7 of you. I have to say, and thank you, Sam, here at HAYVN. Great job with the slides, keeping up with the girls' decks. I have to say, I have one thing to say, and that is that I am really glad I am not a judge, because I hope you've been taking notes. I don't know what you're going to do with 7 amazing products, organizations, presentations, and young entrepreneurs, but good luck with that. Glad I'm not a judge. Well done, ladies. Okay, so thank you to all of you. This is not going to be easy for the judges. As we said, judges, I am going to ask you, if you would, retire. I will be setting my timer for about 7 minutes, and then I will check in with you and give you a 30-second warning on when we need you back, so you can retire and get to work, because the clock is ticking. And in the meantime, in our 7-minute break, I'm going to hand it over to Holly Hurd with Venture Moms. She is here to talk to you a little bit more about our 4 Hatchlet partners that I mentioned in the beginning of the show, and also to outline our prizes. Holly, take it away.
Hi, everyone. Wow. I literally am blown away. Those presentations were so amazing. You women were so impressive, organized, poised, really excellent pitches. Thank you to our audience for being here. And we're so glad you're here, because I think we're going to do the poll now first, right, Kathy? If you will launch the poll. Audience, we need your help. You're going to have the difficult decision of making your choices as well. And then we're going to share the results after I talk about our partners. So you should see on your screen, we have a 3-question poll. And the first question is, in your opinion, based on tonight's wonderful, amazing presentations, which 3 businesses are most ready to grow? So audience, the list of presenters is on your screen. You can use your touch screen, or you can use your mouse to choose 3 choices. Who is most ready to grow? That's question 1. If you scroll down and click on next, you'll see question 2, which is, which 3 businesses or ideas had the clearest and most convincing pitch? All of these young women were incredible. So again, a difficult choice in who was the clearest and had the most convincing pitch. And question number 3, if you had a bankroll with $100,000 in it to invest, which 3 businesses would you invest in? And I'm sure all of these young women would put those funds to excellent use. So make your choices, and we'll circle back to those questions in just a moment. And now, while we tabulate those, we want to tell you about our Hatchlet partners. And we're so thrilled that tonight we partnered with 4 organizations, women and girl centric. The first one is Livegirl. And this group offers events throughout the year, including one-on-one mentoring, leadership camps and conferences, everything that a young woman needs to find her power to change the world. And we want to thank Sherry West for bringing this partnership to HAYVN and to the HAYVN Hatchlet. Our second partner tonight is Kids Helping Kids, and they do exactly what the name says. This is where kids help kids. This is a nonprofit that offers a structure where kids can develop and implement service projects that help other kids. The website is kidshelpingkidsct.org. And Jennifer Bentley, thank you so much for partnering with us tonight. Our third organization is the Community Fund of Darien. And believe it or not, they have been around since the 1950s. This organization works with multiple groups, not only in Darien, but Stamford and Norwalk. Their website is communityfunddarien.org, and it's led by Janet King, one of my most favorite people. She always has a smile on her face. Our fourth organization that we're partnering with tonight is the Fairfield County's Community Foundation Fund for Women and Girls. This was founded by women, it's run by women, and this is the largest foundation for helping women in Fairfield County. And their belief is that by helping women improve their lives, they strengthen the family and ultimately communities. Their website, fccfoundation.org, and we want to say a big thank you to Tricia Hyacinth, who is the leader at Fairfield County's Community Foundation for Women and Girls. So we are thrilled to be partnering with these 4 organizations and to help further their mandates by providing this pitch event for young female entrepreneurs. Now, we believe all these girls tonight are winners. All these women, young women tonight are winners, but we are having our judges choose a winner, which will be the first place, a second place, and a third place. The first place will get $250 plus a mentoring package. Now, we think of our mentoring package as a board of directors of sorts, and you will get a one-on-one counseling session with all of the organizations you see here. So you'll get everything from finance to branding to social media strategy to video production from our own Kendra Farn to a tech check of your business systems from Rocket Girl. She's really amazing. So we put this package together, this mentoring package for all of you to reach out to. The first place winner will get $250 plus the package. Second place will get $100 plus the package. And the third place will get the mentoring package. So we hope you'll take advantage of these. Now, let's go back and see what the audience thought. I hope that you have all voted. And let's put on the screen the answer to question number 1. Wow. So here we have BeeWell, which is Restoring Trust in Natural Remedies, has 69%, College Thrifts with 46%, and Help End Period Poverty at 17%. Fantastic. So those are the people that were most ready to grow. Let's go to question 2. And this question was, which 3 businesses had the clearest and most convincing pitch? Now, I can't see that on the screen, so you may have to help me out here, Kendra. It's not on my screen.
No, it's not on mine either. Sam, can you move to the second question?
Okay, guys, I'm going to dive in here because I might.
Please do, Kathy. Thanks.
There's Kathy.
With the view. I think the audience can see it without any problem. So that is, we have KnitGirl with was the top performer in that, followed by BeeWell for clearest and most convincing pitch, and then Reach Bar. And we'll also share these as well later on with everyone. And then our final question, Holly, was if you had $100K, which we were going to give you to invest, it wasn't going to be out of your own 401k. Which 3 of these businesses or ideas would you invest in? And our top investment choice was BeeWell tonight. And that was followed by a tie between KnitGirl and Sanicase.
Wow,
so,
that's really great. Lot of really impressive pitches and very hard. I'm sure that our judges are not having an easy time, but thank you to the audience for chiming in and letting us know what you think. And now I'm going to pass it back to Kendra, and the moment we've all been waiting for, let's hear what our judges have decided. Kendra, back to you.
Thanks, Holly. So I just let the judges know in our group text that I need them back. So hopefully they're behaving and they're coming back. I always find it interesting. Most of you should know this is our first HAYVN Hatch let, but we have had 6 HAYVN Hatches, which is, I use this term loosely, for older women, older female entrepreneurs. And I always find it interesting to see how the audience poll may or may not line up with what the judges do. So that will be interesting. Hopefully the judges are coming back. I'm going to give them one more warning. And Kathy, if you would do that as well on our group chat. And the other thing I want to say is if you look at the bottom of your screen, you can see all of the chat, the Q&A. It is definitely in there. And We will, as Holly or Marie might have mentioned earlier, we're going to hook you guys up with all 7 of these presenters via LinkedIn at the end. And as a female entrepreneur myself, I can tell you, good, bad, or indifferent, feedback is critical when you're trying to launch or build something. I personally I always say that I'm unoffendable because I think any feedback is really valuable. And tonight is all about exposure and support. So we really want everyone in the audience to continue the conversation with all 7 of these presenters. Okay.
Absolutely. I wanted to say one other thing, Kendra. Our judges have so generously offered to meet with each of our presenters as well and give of their time to provide their input and feedback. So I hope that the presenters will reach out to them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Do we have our judges back? Are they in the house? Marie, are you there?
I'm afraid, Kendra, they're not quite back.
Oh, do you see? I'm telling you, this is why I said that I was happy that I was not a judge. I can't tell you. Each presentation, I was sort of taking my own little notes so that I could see how I would stack up. But you were all so incredibly different and so incredibly just confident and thoughtful and amazing in your product organization and presentations that I really don't know what they're going to do. But I will say that the exposure in and of itself, even though we can only have a first, second, and third winners tonight, those 3 winners, the other 4 of you, I know you are going to get amazing, amazing feedback and support and help from everybody in the HAYVN community. Oh, there's Marie. Marie, I do not envy you guys. Are you back? Because you have some decision for us. I want to say before the judges actually announce their third, second, and first place winners, we want to remind everyone, of course, that this is about support and exposure for all 7. Vida, you generously volunteered to announce our winners. And I'm going to ask you if you would tonight, if you'll start with third and then move up from second to first. And if you would please, when you announce the third place, second place, and first place, would you give us a little couple lines and explanation because they were all so amazing as to how you guys arrived to where you did tonight. So
Absolutely.
Drum roll, please, Vida, take it away.
So first and foremost, it took us a minute to decide because you ladies really blew us away. And so we thank each and every one of you for coming here, putting yourself out there, really giving it your all. We could tell. And so it was a very hard decision for us. So we thank all of you. You guys are all winners for us because y'all did an amazing job. So put that out there. It was a very hard discussion. So we'll start with third place. Third place goes to KnitGirl. So we really appreciated your poise, speaking the ideas that you're coming to the forefront with, that you'll be thinking about. I think that, and it also came through in the conversation and the Q&A, talking about creating, the gig economy for the knit community. That's something that is incredibly interesting. And we're hoping that the market will be there for you in order to be able to grow and expand and even create a movement in knit. So the second place winner that we have is Reach Bar. Congratulations. For Reach, we definitely like the idea that there is a give back. So you give and you get with the product in this packaging that will be beneficial for the user and for the end user that will be donated the product. A great idea. Looking forward to seeing how that materializes for you and for the business and the ideas that you have coming forth, as far as really bringing that awareness to the hunger that is in the country. And now our winner, would like to give a drum roll. College Thrifts. congratulations for winning first. We know that the market is a market that is sizable, and the idea is fantastic. Being able to cater to this demographic of people that may not be able to afford, or this movement of coming into secondhand clothing. It is something that is the movement now, most especially with the fact that people are trying to spend less on keeping clothes in their closet, and so on and so forth. So great idea. Would love to open it to the judges to say anything else, but we're really proud of you. Thank you all so much for being here for tonight.
Amazing. Awesome. And I just have to say, I was reading a little bit of the chat. I mean, we've said it a million times, but I'll say it again. All 7 of you are just so just impressive, inspirational. I could go on and on, but someone in the audience actually said it best. And they said, if these 7 young women are any indication of our future, then our future is in good hands. And I thought that was actually a really wonderful summary of all of you, and your entrepreneurial spirit and ideas and tenacity and all of that. So well done. Congratulations to first, second, and third. Congratulations to all 7 of you. As I said, it is hard in just 90 minutes to get to all of the questions. All 7 of these amazing female pitchers, or 8, including the sisters, they all have LinkedIn profiles. So we're really, again, encouraging the audience to please continue the conversation and reach out to and connect with all of them on their LinkedIn pages. It is about exposure and support for all 7 of them. Finally, before I send it back over to our fearless founder, Felicia, HAYVN Hatch, we have our next HAYVN Hatch, which, as I said, is for a little older female entrepreneurs. Our next HAYVN Hatch, mark your calendars and spread the word, is January 25th. Again, for grown women, but they are certainly role models for all of you young women to watch. And our next hatchlet is not until the fall. It is going to be Monday, October 25th, obviously of 2021. So there's plenty of time for you all to spread the word to anyone else in your schools, colleges, communities, organizations, nonprofits who you think would really benefit from this amazing experience of pitching before just really experienced people who can help you, I think, is the bottom line. So thank you again. And with that, I'm going to send it back over to Felicia for some closing words.
Wow. Well, thank you, Kendra. I was so impressed tonight. This was beyond my wildest expectations to hear you speak. I just wanted to thank everybody for coming, and a special thank you to all the judges, amazing presenters, our partners, and our audience, and to the HAYVN team, of course, and also to our sponsor, First County Bank, who happens to be my bank. So again, we are open and have created an extremely safe haven. So come in when you're comfortable and take a tour. You can go to HAYVN, HAYVN.com. And we have all sorts of different opportunities to become a member here. We work the way you do. So take a look at our calendar to see any of the inspiring events that we have coming up. And please join us on January 25th for our next HAYVN Hatch. And also for anybody who attended tonight, please don't forget that we have a special offer. If you go to hello@hayvn.com, you can send to ask for a free pass to come to our space. So thank you again. We'll see you next time.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.